And with this, now I would welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Manjula Pooja Shroff, Managing Director, Calorix Group, Ahmedabad, Gujarat, to please share her knowledge and expertise on the subject matter. Thank you so much.
Namaskaram. Greetings from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Actually, this is also my home state. So when I arrived last night and I saw a hoarding saying from Hyderabad to Ahmedabad, I was like, oh wow, they know that I've come. I'm going to be talking to you later and I'm going to explain why I said this is my home state, because an inaugural is never about anything else except policy. Let's focus. I have done hundreds of such conferences in my career as an educationist. And I know कि मैं जब वहाँ बैठती थी, when I used to sit there, I used to come with a hunger to learn. Not just to learn, but to go back and add value to my organization. It is in that understanding that as I grew from strength to strength as an educator and as an education leader, if I may, I started to write policy. In the year 2016, I had gone to Australia with the vibrant Gujarat. And I saw the huge difference between the way they conduct education, especially the skilling part of education, and the way we used to do it. And that was my first white paper called Vocationalization of School Education, which you know is a chapter in NEP today. The second white paper I wrote is when I visited China. And I realized the huge difference in the human capital, in the human development we have between China and India, and it has all to do with skill. The pre-NEP dates, you will remember the PISA score of India, right? Let's talk about the India story. Then you'll know what you have to do to add to that story of India. You remember the PISA score of India? Bottom second. And that is where everybody jolted, because we believed that we are an intellectual race, and we are. Marks should never define it. But internationally, there's a PISA score where our students could not perform. There is an index called Human Development Index, globally in 189 countries. All different countries are marked. India is behind Sri Lanka. And that is where NEP happened. And as I started to write white papers and write policies, it really made me feel proud that it got recognized. I would talk to policymakers, ensure that we thought in the same direction. But you know what? This is where you come in. That policy is a piece of paper until you implement it on the ground. If every one of us does not implement the NEP, the country cannot go from A place to B place. And that is the hard reality. And this is where we did this. We put together about 100 odd senior educationists in a room like this. And we said that, you know, school education is very clearly defined in the NEP. There are only 8 chapters. Take each chapter and give us working strategies chapter by chapter, so that any school who does at least that much is NEP compliant. This is a very simple book, Implementation Strategies. I bring with me from Gujarat several complementary copies. Please take as many as you want. Our request is, please help us implement NEP. The country needs it. You owe it to the country to implement NEP so that we create a critical mass of good practices of this country. It is the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 is no longer on paper. You know, we are already talking about 2 board exams. It's already implemented. How many of you know that graduation degree is no longer 4 years? It's 3 plus 1. Already implemented. These are big, big steps in the right direction, credit-based. So there are two documents. One is the NEP, one is the NCF. NCF is like the working manual of the NEP. Let's stay on the NEP because it's both a philosophy and a pathway. If you don't have the right strategies, you'll waste those 10 bagless days. What a wonderful opportunity to teach children that books are not all that is required to learn. So don't throw away those 10 bagless days. Do strategy, work it right. So whether it is FLN, whether it is inclusive education, 50 hours of training for the faculty members, of course, technology integration, mother tongue teaching, multilingual teaching, and assessment. Going solo on assessment so that it is no longer rote learning, but responsible learning. All of this we've tried to simplify for you. I'm going to leave it to your better judgment to avail a copy of it. Let us know that it worked for you. But please do implement NEP. Let's take India to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.